My teacher accused me of cheating in front of the whole class, and I still can't believe what happened. It was the day of our biggest test of the quarter. I had spent the entire weekend studying because I really wanted a good grade. The night before, I stayed up reviewing my notes and making sure I understood everything that would be on the exam. When the test started, the classroom was completely silent. Everyone was focused on their papers. About halfway through the test, I looked up for a second to think about one of the questions. That's when my teacher suddenly called my name. At first, I thought she was going to ask me something. Instead, she told me to stand up. I was confused. Stand up? For what? Then she said she had been watching me and believed I was looking at another student's paper. My heart immediately dropped.
Oh my God!
What did she mean I was looking at another student's paper? I hadn't even left my seat. I tried to explain that I wasn't cheating and that I had only looked up because I was thinking about a question, but she wouldn't listen. She told me that from her perspective, it looked suspicious. Suspicious? So now looking up for 2 seconds is suspicious? The entire class was staring at me. Some students were whispering to each other while others just watched in silence. I could feel my face getting hot from embarrassment. Great, exactly what I wanted. 25 people staring at me in the middle of a test. My teacher moved me to another seat and warned me that if she saw anything else, she would give me a 0 on the test. A 0, for something I didn't even do. The worst part wasn't even changing seats. It was knowing that everyone in the room had just heard me get accused of cheating. Even though I knew I hadn't done anything wrong, it felt like people had already made up their minds. For the rest of the test, I couldn't focus. Instead of thinking about the questions, I kept thinking about what had just happened. Every time I looked up from my paper, I worried that someone would think I was cheating again. At that point, I wasn't even worried about my score anymore. I was just trying to get through the rest of the exam without being accused again. When the bell rang, I turned in my test and left the classroom feeling frustrated and angry. A few of my friends asked what happened. I told them the truth, but I still felt embarrassed. The next day, my teacher asked me to stay after class for a moment, and honestly, my heart dropped again. I thought I was in even more trouble. Instead, she told me that she had reviewed the situation and realized she had jumped to a conclusion. She said that from where she was standing, it had looked like I was looking at another student's answers, but after checking everything more carefully, she couldn't find any evidence that I had cheated. None. So basically, I got accused in front of the entire class for nothing. She apologized for accusing me. I appreciated the apology, but the situation still bothered me. The accusation happened in front of the entire class, while the apology happened when almost nobody was around. You know what I mean? After that experience, I learned how quickly people can assume the worst without knowing the full story. Even though everything worked out in the end, being accused of something I didn't do was one of the most stressful moments I've had at school. And to this day, whenever someone mentions cheating on a test, I immediately remember that moment. Follow for more content like this.